Welcome to Shardcast, the Brandon Sanderson podcast. We're a bunch of mega fans giving you the news discussion and, of course, a whole lot of opinions about Brandon's work and the Cosmere. I'm Eric, and joining me is Ian.
Hey, I'm Weary Rider.
Also joining me is Grace, back in her Christmas bunker.
Hello, I am Gator Girl.
Also joining us is Joshua.
Hey everybody, I'm Joshua. Hope you enjoyed your State of the Sanderson bingo.
Yeah. And also joining us is the very Christmassy David.
Hi, I'm Woodrunner on the forums. And I guess I'm last now in the name of orders, or order of names, I should say.
Name of orders.
Sorry, that's Brandon Sanderson for you.
Yeah. Well, today at least.
Name of orders.
So today, literally today, as we're recording, State of Sanderson 2019 has come out, and we are gonna talk about that. We got actually a Stormlight 4 release date a little earlier, so we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about a bunch of stuff. Hopefully this will not be a 3-hour episode, so that's the goal. Our Starsight Reactions podcast was too long.
Yeah.
I still haven't listened to it. I'm kind of afraid to open it.
Oh, there's no salt in it. Don't you worry.
Oh, no. I remember listening to it. I looked down and I'm like, how much is left? And I'm like, 80 minutes. Okay. It's
pretty long, admittedly. So let's get right into it. And we'll just go in order through State of Sanderson here. And Brandon opens with talking about leatherbounds. And he has some surveys as well. Yes?
You missed one of the coolest parts, which was the image that I just want to say is a very cool image.
Oh yeah, that's totally the thumbnail for this video. Like, easy. Like, it's very nice.
Yes.
So
Stormlight art, Stormlight update art though.
Yeah, no. Remember when Brandon said his Stormlight 4 updates would have like an image? Yeah, that
never happened.
Yeah.
No. But what is happening is Way of King's 10th anniversary leatherbound next year, and apparently his team has already worked on it 8 months, so great.
Jeez.
Yeah. And what they're doing is they are going to kickstart the Way of King's leatherbound. And I am glad he talked about why he is doing that. And
yeah,
as someone who is very hesitant about big names using Kickstarter, he did sell it pretty well, that he wants to use it as a pretty advanced pre-order system, because you can have like different tiers and stuff and stretch goals and stuff. And so that's pretty cool. It is going to be $200 to $250 because it's going to be 2 volumes, because Way of Kings is twice as long as Mistborn books and the other ones.
Makes sense.
It would be a big book as 1 volume.
Well, and the leatherbounds, I don't know if I haven't actually like read the leatherbounds. They're just very pretty on my shelf. Well, currently they're in boxes. They actually have very readable fonts, and Stormlight books are really long, and they kind of have to lower that font size. So, so if you want to have it be readable, then yeah, you probably need 2 volumes. So that's what's gonna happen. You will still be able to order the things after the Kickstarter, which is good.
Yeah, it's not a Kickstarter exclusive or anything.
Yeah. And it sounds like it'll just be the Stormlight books that they'll be doing the leatherbound Kickstarter with, and the other novels that he does leatherbounds with will generally be done as they've done them in the past.
Yeah. The extra swag from Kickstarter would just come from that campaign.
That's what I'm curious. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's what I'm really curious about, is what all the different tiers are going to be, and like what does that look like?
Set a slipcase.
Yeah.
I'm almost more interested in some of the other stuff mentioned in relation than the actual leatherbounds themselves.
Oh, you mean the part where it mentions that there will be information on all 10 orders of the Radiance that with including info not in books currently? Yeah, I would say that is very interesting. So
it's very interesting, but I'm hesitant because on how much of that won't just come out in Rhythm of War a few months later.
Well, that's true, but think how much better the Knights Radiant quizzes will be with actual info on all 10 orders. Like that would be a big help, right?
Yeah. No more. Are you fond of plants? Like question.
So what do you guys think about the Leatherbounds and Wave Kings?
I'm pumped
About
about the Leatherbound itself. Unlike Grace, no, I can't wait to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah. And am I misremembering, or did Brandon say he wanted to write some sort of like short story or thing like in concert with the Kickstarter, like as a part of that?
He does. Either Water Sail, which is he does say is a Risen novella.
Confirm that.
He confirms that. Horn Eater, which would be the Rock novella, or an unnamed Six of the Dusk sequel. But that one is iffy because it might spoil too much space age Cosmere stuff.
Yeah, he said
Space
that.
age Cosmere politics.
Which, yeah, is fair. In January, you'll get a long episode on the Starsight release party Words of Brandon, which there were a lot. And that was one of the things that, I don't know, it kind of had a lot of spoilers in it. I don't know how comfortable I am with that. And he that's his hope. That's not like a for sure thing.
And that there will likely be a tier that is just, here's that short story or novella. You don't have to buy a $200 leatherbound to be able to read that.
I'm sure after the Kickstarter, you'll still be able to acquire that novella in some form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would hope it goes to like Amazon and regular booksellers.
Something like that.
I'm sure. Well, just like Edge Dancer did, right? I mean,
that was US only.
Eventually later. Really?
Yeah, there was like a print run of just Edge Dancer. I think that was just US only, but I don't.
I thought I don't know.
There is some weird stuff with Tor and the rights, I think, because they had it for like the Arcanum Unbounded short story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a little weird because it came out after Arcanum Unbounded. Yeah, right. That is true.
And it was like a mini hardcover, and Tor was doing a series of those at around the same time.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of leatherbounds, he also talked about the Era 2 leatherbounds, and since they're half as long as a Mistborn book, his question was, since Tor isn't allowing me to sell it for less than $100, I guess due to competition, that makes sense, I guess.
Probably.
Do you want to have $100 smaller ones, or bundle like Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self together into one leatherbound? And you actually can vote on State of Sanderson. There's surveys. So what do you guys think about that?
I liked it. It's
which one?
One of the. Oh, I mean,
which one do you
thought
like?
You were talking about like, do we like having like
surveys
being able to give feedback?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, survey says yes. I do like the surveys.
I get to click buttons.
Yeah, we get to click buttons. But like, would you prefer to have separate leatherbounds of Alloy and Shadows, or together? Or
probably separate, but sold together is what I chose.
Yeah, there's a slipcase option. Where
I guess. Like, I think I'd be fine with them being conjoined. The only thing that is like a little weird with that is we know that Shadows itself is like going to be structurally a little more connected to the next two. So it'd be kind of weird if it was bound with Alloy, but it's still like a sequel. So like, it's not a big deal. I'd be fine with it.
I voted for 2 volumes and 1 in the cover.
Seems like a lot of value. Leatherbounds are expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to spend $100 on a book, I feel like you might as well spend $150 on it. There's not that big difference to me.
Well, I guess that's true.
At that point.
I voted for 2 volumes and 1 slipcase, but I'm very glad he put the this doesn't affect me. I just like clicking buttons because that describes me perfectly. So
yeah, I talked with Jess and she's like, I hate the idea of them being bundled. I would hate it so much. I was like, I mean, I think the people who want it separate feel more strongly than was like, yeah, I want more value. That's fine. And what do you guys think of non-Cosmere leatherbounds? Because Brandon talked about that as well.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care either. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not pay $100 for a Steelheart leatherbound.
I don't treasure Steelheart in that way. Like I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
If it was like the entire Reckoner series
That's-
bound together, maybe, but
Yeah.
Well, you got Calamity in there, and that's the worst one. So
it's like
Wow.
Rithmatist, possibly, because I do love the Rithmatist a lot.
Yeah,
But-
you do.
do you want Rithmatist to be bound with its sequel or not?
And how long are you willing to wait?
Yeah.
Hey. Cool. Well, then Brandon talked about signings and that how his signings take a really long time because he talks with everyone and gives everyone a little moment with him. And his last Stormlight tour really wore him out.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were a few options. Usually his signings start with, like a talk and then a Q&A, and then he does the signing. And apparently other big authors would like pre-sign all the books, so you wouldn't have to like wait in the line for signing. What did you guys think about all this?
so unless I'm mistaken, you're the only one here, Eric, who has actually been to a signing. Am I?
Hey, I've been to a signing.
Yeah, I've been to.
You've been to a con.
I'm not counting cons as signings because I did go to Jordan Con
fine
one
then.
year when he was there. But in terms of like
Oh.
release tours,
Oh, yeah. I
Signing
didn't
stuff?
get to the Oathbringer release, but I've been to the other ones. I won't be able to get to release parties anymore. I'm too far away now.
What if they're on Saturdays?
Well, if they're on Saturdays, like I just can't take Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off for work to go to a release party in Utah. That's just not happening.
because it just from reading the description, it doesn't seem like cons work exactly the same way as
Yeah,
what
So
he
I
was
did.
talking about in here.
I did go to the Oathbringer tour signing in Atlanta. It wasn't actually terribly different than Jordan Con because Jordan Con is so. So that was actually pretty similar to my experience at a signing.
Yeah.
I think this is inevitable. Like
It
the
is.
fandom is growing. You look at like numbers of people in different fan communities, and it's like exponentially growing. Right? Every
Yeah.
release, it's just bigger and bigger. So it has to happen at some point. Like you got to
Yeah.
make a change.
So he had a few different options. So the first one was Brandon speaks and presents for about 3 hours. Everyone gets a signed copy, and the event is in like a theater. Or there's Brandon speaks and presents for 2 hours. Everyone gets a signed book, and then like there would be a lottery system where 100 people would get like that same moment that you get now. And then the third option is Brandon does no presentation, just signs, no seating, and no personalizations, pictures, or questions. But he just signs. And then the last option was, if those are the only options, I'd choose not to come to a signing.
Ooh,
No offense.
Yeah, it says no offense. Yeah.
That's important.
yeah.
I chose the lottery. I'm willing to roll the dice, see what happens.
That's also what I picked because I want there to be the option for like fan interaction, but I also know that Brendan likes being up in front of a crowd and talking.
Yeah.
So I don't want to remove that from him. I felt
Me personally, I mean, I'm pretty embedded in the fandom, but if I was a regular human, I would not travel the 3 hours that it takes to commute into San Francisco on an evening for a San Francisco signing and for a chance of meeting Brandon. I don't know. That just, I would not take off time work to do that, you know?
Well, but the premise there was that you find out ahead of time. So it's not just like I drive all the way there and then like put my name in the lottery and then, I got to go back. You knew ahead of time. So I think that makes sense.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I think it would help if you like knew ahead of time that part was going to be like at the end, right? So people are kind of, if you're not in there for the long haul, like if you don't want to wait that long, then you're kind of going to be turned off from putting your name in the lottery just for the heck of it.
And he didn't want to have like a fee to go talk to him. So he said randomly. I don't know. It's obviously means a lot to people to, say words to Brandon. And there's a fun game to play with asking questions. But there are definitely a few people who are rare people who will like get a list of like 20 WOBs and questions and ask them all. And it's like, okay, if you're sad, I'm not super sad, but there's a lot that's lost here for sure. But it is inevitable, right?
Yeah.
Like he can't just like stay to 4 a.m. every day in like a Stormlight 8 signing, right? He just can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you could stretch it now, like 5 years from now, it's just going to be that much worse. Like,
yeah, there was always going to be a point where this would happen.
Whatever solution he comes with here is only going to last for another decade, and then that's not going to work anymore. So,
well, that's depressing.
That's
meteoric.
So there you go.
No. I wonder what, like, I'm sure Brennan likes to like accommodate the fans, but I wonder like which he would prefer. Like if he enjoys the one-on-one interaction more, or if he enjoys the presentation aspect of it more. Because just like him signing for everybody sounds like not very engaging at all.
He really likes the talky bits and the Q&A.
It's like just signing, like no personalizations, no pictures or questions. That not really a lot of back and forth with fans, which he enjoys.
Yeah, because like there's definitely times where you'd go talk with Brandon and like you'd have like an emotional moment. It's like, oh, this is how much the books mean to me, and that's nice. And so I don't know. It is kind of a bummer because if he doesn't have that fan interaction, then not that I think Brandon would get actually out of touch, because he's super nice all the time, right? But it's nice to have that face-to-face interaction. But this would be inevitable. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't mean like this is the end of him like doing AMAs on Reddit periodically and like other stuff like that. Like there will still be ways to ask Brandon questions, even if
Brandon likes talking about his works.
Yes, he does.
We are still going to get information.
Yeah.
From outside the books.
Yeah. I just worry about the face-to-face interaction. It's a bummer. So let's start talking about his year. And I don't know if we need to go into a lot of detail on this part two here.
Not much happened.
He toured a lot, and he alluded that like I should probably tour a bit less.
Yeah, it's Starsight revisions and Stormlight 4 and tours.
Yep,
that's his year.
And
April, Stormlight 4, May, tour, June, Stormlight 4, July, tour.
Yeah, it's tours and not tours. But so let's just go into major projects, and of course, Stormlight Archive. We have a release date, and it's actually 2020. I'm kind of surprised.
I'm just gonna say 2020 still doesn't sound like a real year to me.
Yeah. We're not only are we gonna have to wait for Rhythms of War, but we're also gonna have to go through what's sure to be a fun and exciting year in America in 2020. It'll be great. So it'll be great. It doesn't feel real, but it could still be delayed. But Brandon says he's optimistic that he'll meet that. Hopefully, Peter won't have to go to the hospital for this one. But remember, guys, writing the book is only one part of a Stormlight book. There's actually a lot of art and a lot of stuff that needs to happen. So
and revisions.
Going through that in 11 months is actually that's a ton of work. So
and it's like it needs to be. It's not like 11 months, like totally, because like the last 3 of those, like
he's printing.
It's printing.
Yeah.
marketing, and
Yeah. So like, so that's all right. And Brandon said he anticipates writing Stormlight 5 in 2022 for a 2023 release date, which I don't know about you guys.
Mhm.
I just compared Brandon's output with George R. Martin's and Pat Rothfuss's, and I'm like, that's okay. We got Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, and Rhythms of War before our next Song of Ice and Fire book. So, we're doing okay.
I'm impressed that he turned this one around in 3 years. Because I've been like watching, like every Stormlight book so far has been 3.5 years, and so I was just convinced that this would go the same amount of time. He always says like, "Oh yeah, I do Stormlight books in 3 years," and he never had. But he finally did it.
Originally, he was like, 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, originally he said that Words of Radiance would be shorter than Way of Kings, so that was good times. The next books will be shorter. Way of Kings was the length it needed to be. And do note that Brandon's going to take a break after Stormlight 5 from Stormlight books for a while. But that will be, have a conclusion for things. But I don't know, like Stormlight books are 4 times longer than regular books.
Yeah,
they're really big.
Yeah, and
they can kill a small dog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you think the Leatherbound will kill?
Oh man, can murder small kids.
Jeez.
It can kill large dogs.
Large dogs, yeah. I mean, Oathbringer is a fantastic paperweight if you need one. Highly recommend. Multi-use weapon, good book.
Dalinar would use against Odium.
Yeah. And Mistborn, Lost Metal. So
lost.
He's gonna write it before Stormlight 5. And he anticipates being done with revisions in Stormlight 4 in July, and then he's gonna do either Wax and Wane 4 or Skyward 3, but those are like the immediate docket.
Yeah, it'll be one of those and then the other.
Yeah.
It just depends on where they...
So it sounds like he still hasn't decided which one he's going to do. For the release dates, I noticed that he listed Skyward coming out first.
I think that's because his other publisher would just get a little needy. So I think that's why. Which, to be fair, given Starsight's ending, you probably don't want to wait that too long. Whereas at least another little bit for Lost Metals, like I mean, we've been waiting a while.
At this point. Now, the thing I was worried about though is that he would want to write Skyward 3 in one after another.
3 and 4.
It sounds like he's not planning to do that though.
Yeah, that was what surprised me because definitely said before he would want to write one after the other, but I guess he decided finishing Lost Metal was more important.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think it's totally fine if we get Stormlight 4 in 2020 and then we get Lost Metal 2021. Seems great. But it looked like on the publication schedule that 2022 would kind of be like 2019 was, which is like no Cosmere.
Yeah.
Not even graphic novel Cosmere. But I mean, we're surviving.
Like 3 years away, Eric. That's plenty of time for Brandon to decide he
have
wants
a
to
random
write
project.
Yeah.
It's a copper mine recovery year. That's
It's a good way of looking at it.
Cool. Secondary projects. Dark One. Art looks pretty good. Graphic novels turning out pretty good.
It, like more liney and just like scribblier, so you can't really tell what anyone looks like.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
it looks really great.
I can't say I'm like hyped, but it looks pretty neat. I will read it.
It's not my favorite art style, but I'm definitely it's good, and I'm intrigued by the story.
I think it will be nice that we don't have a prose version to compare it to, so like it'll be tailored to this, so that should be good.
And like I am familiar with the work of the 2 writers Brandon is working with on this, Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. I've read some of their other work.
I should probably
Okay.
put some of these art pages up on screen. That'd probably be smart of me to do, huh?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I guess I don't really know what to expect because I know that he pitched it as a multimedia thing with a podcast and a graphic novel,
Yeah,
and maybe
right.
a real novel
Mhm.
at some point.
Yeah.
So it just seems I don't know what to think about what this is gonna.
I don't think we should worry about the
Multimedia, yes.
aspect. Like the graphic novel will be a complete story.
I guess it was just what I heard about it first.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I
that's
think
what
of
he
when I
did
think
say,
Shardcast
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that-
See, I reading these pages, I'm not super interested because it doesn't look like something I would typically pick up.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
I think it solidly looks fine, and will be probably pretty good. I don't know.
Is anybody else getting some really big Kaladin Syl vibes from the glowing
Absolutely.
blue girl talking to the depressed-
I was not quite sure. It's like, wait, what? Like, oh, that is really a lot like Kaladin and Syl. Like, okay. Sure.
I mean,
It looks grumpy.
more if Kaladin thought he was going to murder a whole bunch of people
Yeah.
instead of just fail to save them.
Yeah. Evil Kaladin. Easy.
Oh,
Other thing,
I heard that.
No, Ash.
which we knew. Well, right. Earlier this year, we actually knew this, but
Mhm.
J. Michael Straczynski, creator of Babylon 5, is attached to the project to make a television show of Dark One. I'm hyped. That's going to be great, but
Mhm.
apparently that's going to take a while because he's busy, and has a lot of
Mhm.
projects attached, which is totally fine. I think you want to have the right people and just have it be really good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he has mentioned it a couple times on Twitter
Yep.
that he's working on Dark One.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Hype. So, I mean,
It's quite a portfolio of highly regarded works.
yeah. Very highly regarded works. But nothing on the podcast or anything, so that wasn't mentioned here.
Yep.
Wait, for your bingo card, Death by Pizza, got an update on that. It has a title, Songs of the Dead, because now it's
There you
no more pizza, heavy metal singer necromancer. And
Okay.
Yeah?
So the pizza's totally out now.
The pizza's
Yeah,
totally
That's
out,
the one
yeah.
thing I missed.
I
Okay, no more
personally, I'm hoping there's still a nod somewhere in there,
Oh yeah.
about the fact that it was originally about pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to
there
be
has-
pizza somewhere.
I did kind of forget that he was co-writing this with Peter Aurelian. I totally forgot that since the last Data Sanderson.
That
but-
made me not excited, honestly.
Well-
I only read one book of it, and I really did not get into it at all.
I have heard this. It's waiting on his revision, so that's a thing. There's a thing called The Original, which is a novella that he wrote with Mary Robinette Kowal and is being recorded as an audio original, and it should come out soon.
Yeah. Did anyone see the Will Smith movie to know what this is about? So
Nope.
they can
No, I think
compare-
that was the one with
I
the
did
clone. I
the
think.
Yeah.
younger version of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what
Okay.
that was even called.
Gemini Man.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I did hear that was pretty
Oh.
bad. I haven't seen it.
There is a more in-depth explanation of the story in last year's State of the Sanderson.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's basically clones of criminals, and if a clone catches their original person, they can take over that person's life. That person gets executed and they get to take over their life or something.
oh.
I wasn't
Yeah.
super excited by it, to be honest.
I mean, I'm still not excited about listening to an audiobook and there not being any prose or script version to read. But
Mhm.
sure.
I still think that description sounds like Firstborn, but
Already did that. Alcatraz 6, Brand says he hadn't had a ton of time this year. Yup. But
Mhm.
it's basically all complete, needs one more pass, and needs interior artwork and some editorial work, and basically done. So
Mhm.
cool. Maybe next year.
definitely excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be
Yes.
nice to have that finished up.
Because that's kind of
there's,
keeping
like,
back
another
some of
book.
the other side projects.
I really like when Brandon copy pasted a paragraph for no updates for Warbreaker, Elantris, Warbreaker, or Rithmatist, but he did say that his son read Rithmatist, so then people will be in-house begging for the sequel to that. So,
That'd be weird to have your kid read
Oh,
your
man.
books.
yeah.
Can you wait for the day when his son is gonna like come show up on like Discord or something?
Oh man. Oh, that's kind of a scary
Yeah,
thought,
I don't
actually.
know.
That's
happen.
high pressure, actually.
That's happening in the next decade.
Oh,
I don't like to think how that would go.
that's that. Okay, that's kind of scary. Let's move on to White And Brandon did say that there will be a series on Darkside to wrap things up, and it's being planned with him and Isaac. And
Well, to continue things, not necessarily wrap.
oh,
them
sure.
up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I guess Chris's story can't really wrap up in White Sand too.
Well, okay, yeah.
Good point.
Okay,
Yeah.
shut up. That's a good point. Did also say that there would be a collection of all three of volume 1, 2, and 3 in the coming years. So that's cool.
Like an omnibus or something.
Cool. Then we got updates on minor projects. Brandon talks more about Legion and Reckoners, and if people would like audio originals, he could do some of those. Or he could be like a showrunner and write a sequence of episodes.
There is a service called Serial Box, which is very along these lines, whereas like a group of writers get together and like do a series of novellas or short stories, like a television show.
Oh, okay.
So it's like this is a thing that is being done in the industry. This is something I've been interested to see if Brandon would touch on at some point.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's a good idea. Like him being able to like, as a showrunner, he wouldn't be writing everything, but he would be able to control like the overarching plot of episodes and cohesive world building.
Yeah. But I can't say I want more audio originals. Like, how much? I mean, Brandon wants his side things to recharge after a giant Stormlight book. That's fair. But I don't know how much time does that really free to do something like this as opposed to writing a novella? I don't really know.
It might be nice. Like it might be something he appreciates just because it's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think potentially one reason he's trying to do all these audio originals is because he feels like he has less time for these side projects. So he wants to, since he can't devote as much time to it, he wants to do something like very different. So, being a showrunner is different than writing a novella, or producing an audio original is going to be kind of a different, cool thing that he can try out for a little bit and then go back to writing a novel.
Sure. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. And like he says, like they wrote a novella, but it might not be like a prose novella. It might have been like a script.
Sure. Yeah, that's
of
true.
Novella length, which is much more bare bones, more focused on dialogue.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Sort of thing.
That's
more
true.
of an audio play, maybe, than a just strict reading.
I guess we'll have to see what the original is like. I don't know.
He doesn't talk about Cosmere movies until a little bit later here.
Yeah.
But I also kind of get the sense that he's really like excited about that happening one day, and I think that I get the sense that he wants to like know what he's doing when he gets into that.
Get like practice being a showrunner or something.
Yep.
That's fair.
That's a good point.
So rather than him like, we're doing Stormlight, I have no idea what I'm doing in this video. Like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Moving on, apparently, Starburner / Soulburner. There's something happening there, but it's hush hush. Yes, Dave. Yes, Ian. Blah, blah, blah.
You skipped Adamant, which is like
he's really adamant about
number
that.
2 on my list of things.
There was no movement.
But still, Silence of the Lambs in space. Come on. I want this to be a thing.
Novella.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, who knows what
Batman.
that's going to be like.
Like he's done a reading of like the beginning of the first one. And it's like, that's so cool. I
That
want
must
it.
have been a long time ago. I don't
It
know.
was a
It
long time
was.
ago.
It was a very long time ago. He keeps saying no progress, which makes me sad.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have time for everything. It's a Stormlight year, right?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot what Starburner / Soulburner was.
We don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, great.
We like barely have more than a name. It's like space opera / fantasy. That's literally all we know.
Great. So there's lightsabers. Star Wars confirmed.
Yeah,
He's
that's
writing
really
the next
big.
Star Wars
Yeah.
movie. Easy. Nailed it. It's hush hush, for next Star Wars things. Easy.
Oh my gosh, that's it.
Nailed it. I gotta practice doing the Cosmere by, just something light and easy Star Wars.
Yeah, and I'm sure ready to take another risk.
Yeah, nothing would go wrong. Apparently Apocalypse Guard, which is interesting that Brandon's not talking about this with Reckoners, so maybe is it dissociated from Reckoners now?
It got weirder.
Apparently it got weirder with Dan Wells involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's still in the multiverse, but it's
A weird one.
as it.
Disconnected enough that it wasn't worth.
Well, it's more that because this might not actually go anywhere, he might not want to accentuate the. Whereas, like, he might do more with Reckoners, like as audio originals.
Right, sure.
It's still a living series, so to speak. That it so like this just got lumped down here.
Yep. Then he talks about a lot of Cosmere stuff. He talks about Untitled Threnody novel, Six of the Dust sequel.
Dust Brigade.
Yeah, that's what he has said.
Oh,
on
yeah.
signings. Another story with Shy. Silence Divine persist as maybe stories. They're joined by secret standalone Cosmere book, because we can't have a State of Sanderson without a new secret thing.
Vax novel confirmed.
Hashtag Vax confirmed. That'll be the title, Vax confirmed. No, I will not do that. That would be terribly troll. Then that wacky YA Cosmere book with magic kites. And then Untitled First of the Sun YA novel not involving Sixth. And a few others as Cosmere novels that might someday make it to the front burner. And Brandon's thinking, it might be good to do some YA Cosmere, which, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do people think about that?
I'm 100% okay with it. I like his YA work. So,
Yeah.
His YA stuff has been good. I think, it's kind of a fun way to onboard new younger people to the Cosmere and get them hooked on something.
I
I don't
guess.
see a lot of problems.
Maybe it's just lately, but I just consistently have kind of been pretty like hit or miss with Brandon's YA occasionally. So I just, I'm excited. I'm excited for new Cosmere always, but just sometimes I'm not sure if his YA plots really work for me as much.
Well, but at least then you'll get Cosmere lore.
Yeah.
I would rather have a YA Cosmere book than a YA non-comic book.
Yeah. And just think, if we got YA Cosmere, we could bring some of the dead dads into the Cosmere to go with the dead moms.
yeah.
Easy. It's all coming together, Brandon. I don't know. I think it's more interesting just because, we already have that lore basis. So, that just kind of makes it fun for us at least. But I think it's just nice to do Cosmere things that aren't the big epic fantasy, so he could still progress the Cosmere without it needing to be a giant epic fantasy, which is nice.
Yeah.
And it's nice seeing the same multiverse or world through different lenses. DC Comics. There's a very wide range of characters.
Yeah.
Some are dark and gritty. Others are like very childlike, but they all are existing in the same universe.
It does let him explore with
interesting.
tone, because it doesn't sound like Magic Kites is epic fantasy, but it's like, let's do
Tone is a word I was looking for, but could not think of. So
I got you. Yeah. Tone. And apparently Aether of Night is also hanging around, maybe needing a novel, and as we'll see later, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know why he put in a
3.
novel. And I was going to contradict that in 5 paragraphs. By the way, maybe more.
Look, it's just 3 books. Those Aethers are very hard to get out of clothes. It
Yeah,
takes
that's
a
right.
long time.
Very hard. And he says if he writes a novella to go with the Stormlight Way of King's leatherbound Kickstarter, it has about equal chance of being Wandersail, which is the Rissyn novella, Horneater, Rock novella, or maybe sequel to Six of the Dusk, but it might be a little too tricky for Space Age Cosmere, which is Mistborn Era 4, aka the end of the Cosmere. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess
I-
you're probably rooting for Six of the Dust sequel, Eric, but I think all those sound pretty good.
I mean, yeah.
I am most interested in Wandersail,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'd be happy with any of them.
Yeah.
The Rock chapter in Oathbringer is not my favorite.
I love the Rock chapter.
Our next episode, we will actually go back in time from when we recorded the Horneaters episode in September, and we've just never had a chance to slot it in. And after that podcast, I got a lot more excited about a Rock novella. So it could be really cool.
I am sure if I got it, it would be very cool. It's just like if I'm basing it off that one chapter, I'm like,
well, that chapter had a lot to do, and like it wasn't its own story. I don't know.
yeah, I know that.
That's fair. Film television time? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's not really much, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm just like,
There's never much.
adaptations really just always, I don't, like, unless like they're talking about something and there's been some announcement, I'm kind of like, okay, no news.
Yeah.
Snapshot has a screenplay written, being shopped. Dan Mintz. Do we know what Dan Mintz has done? Probably should have
I
researched
will
this.
Google it.
Fantastic. But apparently he is doing Stormlight stuff, and Brandon is focusing on Mistborn. Maybe him doing his own screenplay for Mistborn. So that's interesting. And Steelheart.
He has been saying all along that he kind of hopes that they do Mistborn first.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that he probably figured, hey, let me get in on and make that happen.
Maybe we should have
That's
a
what I think.
podcast where we discuss just like, let's imagine the timeline of if like Stormlight became a thing, and
Yeah, 'cause a lot of people are excited about it becoming a TV show, but it's too soon. Like he's got decades of writing left.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like yeah, it does feel too soon, right?
Yeah.
I don't want a Game of Thrones situation where a show gets ahead of Brandon.
Especially
Yeah.
because the world building and outlining is better with Brandon, so it probably would spoil more
Yeah.
for Brandon. But
Definitely would.
Yeah.
But I'd be better when I did it then.
well, the show would be better. I don't know if the books would be better.
Yeah.
Because
So Dan Mintz is DMG.
okay,
He works
okay.
with DMG.
Yeah.
okay.
Is he the DM of DMG?
I don't think so.
His
I-
name's
I-
DM.
I know you said that Brandon wants Mistborn first, but honestly, I think Stormlight is more likely to actually happen.
Well, because Stormlight gets more
Really?
hype than Mistborn
Yeah.
these
So much
days.
CGI though.
And also
it
just
has
like-
to be big one, yeah.
If you look at trends of what's popular, it seems like we're like a decade too late for YA protagonists, fantasy-ish.
Well, okay,
dystopian
yeah, that's true.
adventure. Like,
Okay,
I can't imagine many people want to take a risk on that type of story with how that genre has been played out.
that's actually a
Yeah.
pretty good point, actually.
You can adapt it to be a little bit different though. I don't know. That could be an interesting part.
I think we'll see more Mistborn hype once we get Era 3. Like, Era 2's just been like when Brandon has time, whereas Era 3, you know, it'll be more epic of scope, more like 200,000 word books like Era 1, and really get... I think we'll get more hype then, but these make me nervous. Apparently, Skyward, a deal's in the works, but he can't talk about it. Did he ruin something by talking about the deal here and saying that one exists? I don't know. It's great. Who knows? And apparently Alcatraz, same, which is interesting.
Mhm.
So
Alcatraz just
I
seems
guess
like
at
such a
one
weird
point-
one to me.
Alcatraz was like optioned by
Yeah.
DreamWorks,
it was, yeah.
but
Yeah,
they
isn't there
did like
concept
the
art?
crudes instead.
Yeah, they did something else instead. Yeah. Then there's some other projects. They're working on The Girl Who Looked Up from Oathbringer, maybe a picture book, but could come out same time as Rhythms of War.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, by the way, Rhythms of War might not actually be the final title. Brandon's not sure. Because it has to be like in-world somehow. So
I thought for sure he'd have it figured out by now. Like,
you'd think he's almost written the entire book, so I'm not. How do you not know? I don't know.
it's that last 5%. That's where it all is.
I mean, to be fair, the words of radiance was pretty tenuous in that book. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I still am disappointed we haven't seen the Book of Endless Pages
Rip.
at all.
Oh,
It's gone.
It's gone. They're
gone
not going
forever.
back to it. I think he abandoned that, whatever that plot line.
That's
Yeah.
on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in,
It's
you
just
know
such
where
a
it
cool
is?
idea.
It's in the Undersea Caverns of Amia.
No, I thought we were going with spiritual realm.
I was thinking that, but then I'm like, Amia joke.
I mean, that's the great thing about the spiritual realm. It can be both.
It can be both. And Vax with that secret project. Actually, the untitled Cosmere secret story is the Book of Endless Pages. It's set on Vax, actually. And Brandon he'll never have time to actually finish it. So that's why it's the Endless Pages.
Mhm.
Easy. Then Brandon talks about the Call to Adventure board game. And
With
there's some great
artwork.
art.
Yeah.
It's really
The
neat.
original game is currently behind me on the floor, where it has
Oh,
been for
great.
several months.
Great.
I still haven't had a chance to play it.
Wow. Thanks for that crazy insight. But
I have played it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's-
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's
I-
not the most like competitive. Like, I don't know. I guess people who are like super serious about board games, I don't know that it's the most well balanced.
Okay.
Mm.
Sure.
But I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was just fun.
Okay.
I
Pull it
am
out and kind of role play. Have fun with. So
Yeah, I am definitely more interested in this game now, knowing it is no longer an expansion and it's actually like its own game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I kind of glossed over this reading this on here, so I'm glad you noticed that because I just kind of scrolled past it. Okay.
There's 120 cards in the game, all with their own art. That is
Yeah.
A lot of art.
very nice looking.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could use on the wiki.
I'm sure we can ask. And then they mentioned the Mistborn Dice Kickstarter, which we've talked about. Cool.
Which by the time this is posted will be over.
Absolutely.
To get your pledges in the past.
Oh yeah, it's 5 hours to go as time of recording. Yep, never mind. All right, moving on. So
Oh, we're actually getting pretty close to the final stretch goal. So
okay.
you
Neat.
can see if we actually reach that.
no thanks to you.
So then we have the schedule, and so the original audio novella 2020, Stormlight 4 fall 2020, Skyward 3 summer 2021, Wax and Wayne 4 fall 2021, Alcatraz 6 2021-2022, Dark One graphic novel 2021-2022, which is kind of actually surprising to me considering how complete those pages looked, but I
Yeah.
guess there's a lot
But-
more to do.
Yeah, we don't know how long it is.
Yeah.
So
It's just like I would think like you do all the line work and then all the coloring. I don't know. So
like generally
right?
it's like chapter by chapter. So it's like the
Oh,
line art
okay.
does
Oh,
one
okay, sure.
chapter.
Yeah, I
and
guess
then
that
better.
makes sense. Yeah, I guess in my brain that would be a very long and stupid way to do it. So that's fair. That's completely fair. Then Skyward 4 2022, and then Stormlight 5 2023. And that's what we got. And then
Not surprising.
after 2023, Brandon's has mentioned that he'll do like Elantris sequels and Mistborn Era 3 alternating. That's his current plan. But, that's still a while away. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels pretty achievable, though.
Oh, this seems
Yeah.
very achievable.
I would have been skeptical about Stormlight 5 by fall 2023, but he did it with book 4, so
I mean,
Yeah.
I still think it's possible that we could get a spring 2021 Stormlight 4 and things be pushed back slightly. But like,
Yeah.
I don't think things shifting by 4 months is a massive deal to me.
no.
No.
I want the book to be as good as it can
Yeah.
be.
I'm more inclined to believe it for the 5th Stormlight book as well, because it seems like he has a pretty solid outline for this, more so than some of the past Stormlight books.
Yeah, because he did say that he's outlining.
I also imagine that he's going to have a lot of enthusiasm to write it. Like, it's got to feel good to finish off that first
half. Yeah, that's going to be pretty sweet. Then we're actually cruising through this pretty quick. I mean, to be honest, there wasn't all that much news, but then he just talks about the future of the Cosmere, that it's gonna take him a while to do things, and he's like thinking, hey, could I do some as a collaboration, as an audio original or graphic novel, just because the Cosmere's big and he wants to complete it. So he's kind of talking about that, because he's about a third of the way into the Cosmere, and so he has a lot more to do. Should we talk about the current Cosmere sequence with some haziness later? We have Elantris 1, 2, 3. We knew that. Stormlight's on there. Neat. A Warbreaker 2 eventually. Era 3. Dragonsteel now confirmed trilogy for now. He offloaded some of the plot lines to Stormlight from Dragonsteel.
Yeah, like Bridge 4.
Yeah.
It'll be kind of interesting, because wasn't like Dragonsteel in the past kind of set in 2 different times, where he had like 2 early novels and then it was going to do a big time jump?
When he talked about the 7-book series, that's what he said. But I think that's all kind of dead now, personally.
Now it's
how he's going to handle it.
It's the story of Hoyd and the Shattering.
Yeah.
Great, that's what I want. So, but I don't know. Then there's Untitled Threnody novel. That's on the list. Then Aether, book 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I still like the idea that this could be like, Aether could be like Ruin and Preservation on Vax, of course, before they went to Scadrial or something. Like, that could be cool. I don't know.
See, I think that's less likely now, though, because if he's going to do a whole trilogy on it, is he going to focus on 2 shards he already did? A whole bunch of
That's true. There are a lot of shards that we don't know still. That is true. It's just the things in Aether were like proto Ruin and Preservation. And then there's Mistborn Era 4. And that's the Cosmere sequence. Note in here, there's not like actually, it's not written in chronological order on this.
No.
Yeah.
So
it's missing novellas and other things.
Yep.
Graphic novels.
Novels.
Elements through Jack.
And White Sand will be a graphic novel series. And so, less of the third of the fall Cosmere sequence.
He does mention the Mistborn Cyberpunk era between 3 and 4 again.
Or a standalone or 2. Yeah. So he wants to do a few more standalones. So he's thinking that he needs to focus a little more on the Cosmere. So I think if we get some YA stuff to fill in the Cosmere to make it feel more rich, I'm kind of cool with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do we think about Cosmere collabs?
I'm in favor of it.
Depending on the person, I'm fine with it.
I trust Brandon to kind of pick and work how that's going to be. I don't know. I guess maybe White Sand is maybe a bad example of that.
Technically a collab, currently.
But that said, I think that looking at White Sand, I think that improved. Especially
it did improve.
The third.
It absolutely improved.
So I think that they're figuring things like that out. So maybe there's some missteps along the way, but I think ultimately it'll be fun just to have.
And I have to imagine that a collab would be more Brandon world building and magic system with more just a different tone and character voice, which I think would be fun to get.
I imagine his team will make sure things are consistent as always, because consistency in the Cosmere is very important.
I mean, I think probably one of the first collaborations he would do is with right? Isaac's been talking about 1 or 2 different things that he's interested in doing. So I totally like to see that.
Yeah.
Someone internal to their team.
Isaac,
cool.
Ben, McSweeney, not Jeebus.
Hey,
Yeah.
a pretty good Stormlight fanfic. All history. You can do it.
But that is very true. Yeah, it is really funny how Brandon thought, oh yeah, I could just cruise through this, and he's like, yeah, Stormlight takes longer than I thought it would.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they're massive.
I'm glad he took time to realize that he has a lot to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's 35 books, 35 mainline Stormlight Cosmere books. So I don't know, that seems pretty good.
It's okay. It's all right, I guess.
Those are rookie numbers. Gotta pump those up.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, seeing the scope of the Cosmere, like, I don't want like a connected universe thing that will just go faster than Brandon can write, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That is worrying because
It's like
Yeah.
connected universes are great, but with too many people, like they can kind of hit a critical mass where continuity just goes right out the window, and it's like,
yeah.
and you kind of just have to like ignore parts to be happy.
But think of all the boombox.
Yeah, it's true. We'll have so many errors to make fun of. It was kind of a downer ending, just talking about the future of the Cosmere, that there's a lot to do, but
Mhm.
I don't know, we
See,
are
I
getting
thought that
things at a
was-
pretty big pace. A
Yeah.
pretty nice pace, all things considered.
I thought that was a positive note. To me, that was just, I don't know, it was refreshing to see them put that in the open and say, hey, look, I realize this is a lot of work and I'm planning to like give this some focus. I don't know, I'd rather see that than just like to see him continue to pretend, oh, I can totally do all this in the next 2.
That's a nice dose of realism. It's nice. It's nice that he will focus a bit more on the Cosmere, because he said, oh, it's his life work. So, you know, I can't let it just, some things die. Neat.
Cool.
What is there anything else we got to talk about? So we kind of cruised through that actually a lot faster than I thought. We totally could have done State of Sanderson bingo, but we thought we would have too much to blab about. But
It's a pretty good State of the Sanderson. It was better than the last.
I'm pleased. Mhm.
last year was pretty good though, I thought.
I've got to say,
State of the Sanderson is 2015, 2016. I read all of them recently.
Oh yeah. Well, that was exciting. That was an exciting time with like, hey, there's Mistborn books randomly coming out. What's up?
I'm greatly in favor of polls, of voting, whatever, but clicking buttons, interactive State of Sanderson. More of
Yeah,
those,
no,
please.
that's good.
Yeah. See, what I liked is Brandon is very transparent
Yes.
with his fans.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to be able to return the favor, and like, this is how the fandom feels about things.
On subject, yeah.
Mhm.
I do really like that, and I think Brandon doesn't blog anymore, right? Not at all. Right? And so these yearly updates are really nice to have.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think it's too much to ask for him to be transparent about his process, and it's very appreciative.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well,
it's time for
I'm so happy because I gotta edit this like in a day, which is a lot. So I'm glad this is shorter, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. We will go on to who's that Cosmere character?
This character is from Roshar.
Menace.
Tien.
Tom.
Braze.
Void in drag on a horse.
It's time for who's that Cosmere character? Caw.
Okay, hello and welcome to Who's That Cosmere Character? It's been so long, I forget how to do this.
It has been a while.
That was a confident lead-in, though. Like, you were on it. And then,
I was like, I'll remember it once I get started.
This is all staying on the record. All on the record.
Hello and welcome to Who's That Cosmere Character, the show where you send in 5 clues to wtcc at 17shard.com, and I may read them aloud on air and give these panelists a chance to guess who's that Cosmere character.
All right. Well, I rocked the who's that Skyward character one. 3-0. I owned it. But
Wow.
now we're doing Cosmere characters again, so now I'm probably gonna get wrecked.
And I'm just gonna say I am sick. I am operating on low amounts of sleep, and I had a long day at work today. So
All right,
I'm
sweet.
not-
So we gotta get him.
I am
I
not
also have lots of
anticipating like
excuses.
high quality from me.
David won't even hear half the clues with his introduction.
Yeah. He's apparently being blizzarded, I guess. I don't know. It's great to be where it's 50 degrees. It's like, must suck for you guys to have winter.
Oh, yeah, you know.
What's the temperature? 16 degrees.
Ah.
Very fitting.
Fun. All right, what do we got, Grace?
Fahrenheit.
All right, this first one was sent in by Sardos from the forums.
Cool.
Clue 1. This character is from one of the 5 Voron kingdoms.
What is the 5th Voron Kingdom?
Oh gosh.
I literally was like, when is he going to explain it?
I'm gonna go with Queen Fen.
It is not Queen Fen.
I'm going to go with
Tarvangian.
the... Oh, damn.
It is not Taravangian.
I'm going with Anok, the Natan ambassador.
Ooh, all
It is
right.
not Anok.
Nice.
You have to
So
pick
it's
a
not the
world
lead.
leader to be in.
I'm gonna stick with the theme of royalty and go with King Henevinar
all right.
of Yakivet.
It is not King Henevinar. Clue 2. This character is in the military.
Oh.
They're a Lethe.
Watch it not be, though.
Moash.
It is not Moash.
What about Beard from the Wall Guard?
It is not Beard.
Hmm.
We do get Beard a lot.
We
I
get
think,
a
or we
lot
did.
of ones that are Beard. Like, that would be like the 3rd or 4th
Beard is a
time.
very memorable character. Thank you very much.
Yeah. See, now I'm just thinking about, like, did we get any named Vedans?
There's some high princes whose names I forget.
I mean, Shlad.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the military, though. Like,
That
named
was not your
Vedans.
question.
Well, that's
you
true.
asked if
That's
there were
true.
any named Vedans.
That's true. That is true.
Shame on you, Eric.
Is it Queen Fen's? No. Is it Hralm?
It is not Ralm.
Hralm? I think he was the guy who fought the Thunderclass with Adolin at the end of Battle of Phalanx Field. I think that's his name.
And there's like a D in there too, but yeah, I know.
Oh
who you're talking
yeah, I
about.
think there might be, but it starts with an H. I remember that.
Yeah.
This is just H and consonants, and it ends with an M. I think. Was it not that person?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
The Herdazian general that
Oh, okay.
feeds Sheller to a great shell in that
It
one
isn't-
interlude.
It is not the Herdazian general.
Is Herdaz one of the Voron Kingdom?
I think so. I think that's the 5th Voron kingdom because they are
Okay.
technically Voron.
Okay.
Clue 3. This character is related to royalty.
Hey, we were right on the right track right there.
Half the characters we guess already did that.
What about Curdlek, Queen Fen's son?
It is Kudralki.
I was thinking about that, but I chose the Heraldum dude.
I know, you said Queen Fen's son, and I was,
I was
like,
like,
oh, wait, is he
"Ah."
going to get it? And then he
No.
said, no, wait, no.
I
someone
got
else.
wrecked.
Yeah.
I got baited.
Wow.
Clue 4. This character uses a dead man's shard blade in the Battle of Thalen Fields. Clue 5. This character stabbed a main character through the chest.
All right. Nice.
All right, so this next one was sent in by Bean the Boy. I think I was trying to figure out where the spaces were because it's all like one
It's
word.
hard sometimes. It's hard
but
sometimes.
I think it's Bean the Boy 12.
Excellent.
B boy.
Be ant. Be ant.
Anti boy.
You know, for
There
2020,
it is.
be ant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clue 1. This character has killed many nobles.
Kelsier.
It is not Vin, it is not Kelsier.
I mean, of course it's not. Watch it be Rosharan, even though it's like, killing
no.
nobles, do. Hera 1.
Zeth.
It is not Zeth.
Aha, that's good.
Like, better not be.
I know Clue 1's a troll, but what if it was Kelsier? You know?
Yeah, that's why I want to do something
Sometimes you gotta go for the obvious one though, because sometimes people are afraid to say the obvious one, and then
I know, and then they get screwed out of Queen Fen's son. Wait, that was an interesting way for me to say that.
He's apparently really nice.
All right then. I didn't know I had these feelings towards that character. Actually,
he's a shard bearer. He's very brave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, Jess. I have a new lover now.
He has no consonants whatsoever.
No consonants. I want no consonants. Just all like guttural.
Just.
I'm going to say Dalinar.
It is Dalinar.
What?
Are you
kidding me?
Yes.
No, that's some BS. All right, I want the other clues, and you know what? This episode's too short. We're gonna do a third. We gotta do a third.
Clue 2 was this character advocates for those abused by nobles. Clue 3, this character has held an honor blade. Clue 4, this character regrets their kills. Clue 5, this character was present for the entire Battle of Thalen Field.
Okay.
Milan.
Victory. It's sweet.
Boo.
See, that wasn't like a non-obvious guess, Ian. That was still a main character.
I know. I almost went with an Elantris character, but I couldn't really pick one.
I know. I was thinking about that too.
And then Warbreaker, but like there aren't really like any mass murderers of nobles in there.
Dalinar though, easy mass murdering.
Yeah.
I like how our main characters, we get to see so many mass murderers really getting into their skulls.
Really
Dalinar,
reformed.
Kelsey, or Zeth. It's like, all right, okay, cool. Thanks, Brand.
They're trustworthy.
They're so trustworthy.
All right, everyone. This is all about denying Ian the win. So
That's right.
Let's make sure we coordinate.
That's right.
I mean, if I get this next one, you have to contend with the fact that even sick, I beat all of you.
Shh.
All right, the next one was submitted by White Elephant. Or not, White Emperor.
Oh,
There
darn.
we go. I don't know why I read elephant.
You're doing great reading.
It is Christmas time.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's gonna be. It's white elephants.
This clue 1. This character is famous.
Dandos Oilsworn.
Not Dantos Oilsworn.
That would have been incredible if you just nailed that.
Kai'ine as Drioke Crushed Throat.
It is not Kai'ine.
Spook.
It is not Spook.
Say menace.
Man. No. No, I'm not saying menace.
Famous within the fandom because of you.
For me. What is fame?
I think it's notoriety in a positive way.
Huh.
It's not in fame. I mean, Wax and Wayne are famous.
Yeah.
They are.
Anyone from Era 1.
Yeah. Let's go with Vin.
It is not Vin.
Okay.
Clue 2. This character died on screen.
Elend.
It is not Ellen.
Mistborn Era 1 seems like a pretty good bet so far.
Sadius.
It is not Sadius.
Is he famous or infamous? Or is there a difference to this questioner? What do
I
you
don't
think?
think Doxson is famous. I don't think I'm going to guess Doxson.
Look, he has an entire bay named after him, okay? The Doxonar Bay.
Oh. Okay, how about Doxson then? Fine.
It is not Dachshund.
Okay.
There's also the
thank you, Sarah.
Hamondar Bay as well, I think. Or no, I think it's just Doxonar and it's the Hamondar Bay.
You're
Sorry.
right.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Sorry.
No one's guessed Kelsier right. That is not my guess, but no one's guessed that correct.
If
I mean,
someone were
it is
to guess
fair.
Kelsier, what would you say?
He did die on screen, even though he came back. that is
Yeah.
accurate.
Got my next guess.
Oh, I have
Keep my mind
I have
nice and blank.
I have a guess too.
The clue is this character has died on screen.
This character died on screen, yes.
Died on screen. What does it mean to die?
Yeah. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here at this stage. What is
Like,
fame?
I want
What
to
is
guess.
death?
Yeah, I want the record to show that I want to guess Yasna, but that's like too tricksy, so I'm not actually going to guess that.
Yeah. That'd
You
be
should
some
guess yes,
BS.
Yeah. So I am going to go the obvious route and guess Kelsier.
It is not Kelsier.
Okay. All right.
Clue 3. This character was killed in single combat.
Amaram.
It is not Amaram.
Ooh, this feels like it's guessable now. All right.
Gavilar.
It is not Gavilar.
Famous.
Back to Roshar.
Wait, famous, killed in combat. What was the other one?
Died on screen.
Died on screen. Okay.
Is it the Lord Ruler?
It is not the Lord Ruler.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the pressure's on.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna guess Light Song because he was. No, actually, that's
Ooh.
not combat. No, retraction.
Okay.
Retraction.
All right. Yeah, you did. Grace didn't answer.
I didn't pass judgment, so I'll let that slide.
Okay. I was just thinking about him trying to fight, and then I was like, oh, but that's not how he died. What about Denth?
It is not Denth.
Oh, okay, damn.
guess
Oh
so.
yeah, that is nice because he.
Clue 4. This character is highly trained.
Huh.
Is it Shauna Lariel?
It is not Shauna Lariel.
That's a pretty good one.
Is she famous though?
She's like a
She's
sought
the
after
heir of
like
Yeah.
major
oh,
house.
Yeah.
she was going to be Alen's wife. So and
Yeah.
they're the most powerful house in the kingdom. So
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Hrathen.
It is not Rathan.
oh, what are the guesses now?
God, I have no idea.
What about? I'm just going to guess Miles. Just go for
is-
that.
It is not Miles.
Okay.
Wasn't he executed?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
well,
single
I'm
combat.
tired.
You know,
Okay.
single
I
combat
already
with that
got my win.
guillotine. You know,
Everybody else,
I mean, it
got
was
a
like
win
a
so far. You
firing
can make a
squad.
comment.
whatever.
Firing squad.
I don't know. I don't remember. I have not reread Ally of Law in a long time.
I can't forget about killed.
Also,
Unlike the
guillotine,
giant.
a terrible way of killing a bloodmaker.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, if it's like lopped off, you know.
No, it can still grow a new head.
It's just keep pulling it up and dropping it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Does the head regrow or does the rest of the body regrow from the head
The
down?
biggest part regrows.
Yeah,
Oh, does
the
it?
head comes back.
Mhm.
Anyway,
We need to see that happen. Era 3.
Apparently, it's happened to Hoyd. So,
Yeah, but that's not because he's a blood maker.
but Cosmere healing.
Huh.
Wasn't the Lord Ruler once beheaded, or people said he was?
We
He
don't know
was
if that's
almost beheaded, supposedly.
That's why I thought it wasn't possible if the head was actually lopped off.
yeah.
For
well, then I
Farakemi
think
in
Ren walks
particular.
that
Oh,
back.
for Farakemi in particular.
Yeah, so I don't think that works for Farakemi, but Hoyd stuff's different. So
Mhm.
Good.
I thought I
Got
saw
the-
him walk it back later, but I think
Maybe.
is everyone guessed for this, or is Jeff still thinking?
I'll pass.
No, I think it's
I'm
Eric.
thinking.
Oh, Eric.
Sorry, I'll
Okay.
just pass. I don't know.
You're passing?
I'm passing.
I should
Last
have been
clue?
thinking.
This character is known for their distinctive clothing.
Oh, now I don't even know it all.
I thought this would be a surefire giveaway.
Oh.
Killed though. Distinctive clothing, but killed.
Seth.
Yes, it is Zed.
Dang it.
Guys, I said not Ian.
Wait.
That was okay.
I guess
Oh,
I
oh,
got.
so
Did he die?
Yeah.
He died.
This is
He,
questionable.
He died. He
No,
did die.
in the
He
original.
definitely died.
In the
Revised.
original, he didn't die in the retcon version.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
because that's
But
why
he
his
did
soul
die
is
on
weird
screen.
because
Yeah, he just
It was a
wasn't killed by a shard blade.
his soul is weird because he died and it was almost too late to bring him back, but Nail made it just in time.
Oh, right.
I
And
will-
Kaladin didn't kill him, but he died.
Yeah.
In the
I
fight,
will
so.
pedantic cast that we did not see him die on screen. We merely saw him fall into a storm. But-
To be fair, the retcon with Words of Radiance does make this a little hairy.
Oh, true. I forgot about that.
Because
He did- Kaladin
originally
did,
Kaladin did kill him in the in combat.
that
So
is true.
I think we can allow it. Fine.
I wouldn't actually complain. I'm just bitter that Ian won.
Yeah. Well, I got
thought I said
confused because
this-
I thought we already guessed Seth. But that was
No.
on the last
That was
one.
another clue.
Yeah, I thought when I said distinctive clothing, you'd all be like, "Oh, assassin in white, of course."
I was honestly thinking of Tara in her like Thalen dress, and I was like, that can't be it.
Famous. Oh yeah, Tara's famous.
I was like, that fits literally nothing else. So
Famous
not a good
for
one.
giving Kaladin blue balls. Hey, am I right? No. Not really that famous. All right. So, hope you enjoyed this episode. I don't know. I like the interactive state of Sanderson's. That's nice. Some changes happening, but I guess we're getting Stormlight 4 in next year.
That'll be pretty all right.
Yeah, no big deal. Sure, it won't be a big deal. Oh wait. And next time you're going to get a time traveling podcast where we go back in time and talk about the Horn Eaters, where I do not live in my new house anymore because this is recorded long ago. And I think then we'll talk about the Starsight release Words of Brandon. And then after that, who knows where we will go next. But hope you have a lovely holiday. And we will see you later. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube. You can find us on 17shard.com. You can smash that subscribe button, I guess. Leave us a review on iTunes. And I didn't do this in the usual order I do, but whatever. So we'll see you all next time.
Happy holidays.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Call.
I keep thinking there's like a cat behind you, Eric. Like there's like something that's like poking up right in the corner of the chair.
It's the shark,
It's my shark.
Oh, it is the
the
shark.
mascot.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
Benny the
if
happy
I've-
shark. Have you not?
I don't think I've ever even seen that.
Have you not seen? Have you not seen this adorable shark? He's been in the
I've
background
not
for
before.
a lot. Yeah, he's very cute.
Oh.
Look how adorable
It
this
looks
is.
like he looks happy to eat you. Just like
He's also like very just like so adorable.
We've discussed that whenever we do an episode on Swordish shark fighting, he can guest star.
Yeah. That's when I'll say, "Welcome to Shardcast." So I'll be.
it looks like you're posing for some kind of modeling, like lost in thought.
I mean,
You need like a fan blowing your hair back.
uh,